Hey actors, are you allowed to change the key of your audition song? Buckle up because people have opinions about this. Here's the truth. The idea that a song's key is sacred is a myth. Broadway has been transposing for decades. Rodgers and Hammerstein rewrote keys to fit specific performance all the time. Even If I Loved You changed multiple times between singers. The only folks who treated keys as sacred were the classical purists. But that doesn't mean that key doesn't matter. Some composers like Sondheim, Gettle, Meredith Willson use key as part of the storytelling. It shapes the orchestration, the emotional temperature, the moral architecture of the character in some cases. In The Music Man, Marion wasn't written as a soprano just to be pretty and high. That bright, ringing sound symbolized her clarity and idealism. Lowering it, like they did in the recent revival, changes that metaphor. And that's interpretation, not a crime. So when you transpose, you're not breaking a rule, you're making a choice. The question is, why? If you are changing the key just to dodge a high note, well, that's self-protection. But if it helps you to tell the story more truthfully, that's interpretation. There's a difference between avoiding difficulty and adapting for authenticity. Now, pop rock and R&B songs, the rules are completely different. Those genres live in flexibility. You can sing any key you want because the goal isn't to copy someone else, it's to hit your emotional ceiling. If Beyonce is singing at the top of her range, your job is to sing at the top of your range. The energy, not the pitch, is what matters. But for actual productions, it's different. Once you are under licensing contract, you are legally required to use the keys provided by the rights holder. So if you're auditioning with sides or a cut from the show, assume that's the key they expect. You can always ask if they're open to transposing, because thankfully, many publishers now offer alternate keys to theater companies for an extra fee, making room for a wider range of voices. And that is so important because this conversation has to include trans and non-binary artists and anyone whose voice doesn't fit neatly into soprano, alto, tenor, bass. The ethics of key changes aren't just about preserving the composer's intent. They're about creating access and artistic honesty for every body and every voice. So here's the bottom line. Transpose for expression, not just for convenience. Keep the song's dramatic function intact, honor its musical architecture, and make sure the change serves both you and the story. Just know that there are still purists out there. Some people treat original keys like sacred text and might quietly judge if you change them. That doesn't mean you shouldn't. It just means you should know why you did and stand behind it with confidence. But whatever key you sing in, break a leg.